On November 19th, 2024, Pluto, the planet of truth, transformation, death, and rebirth, the planet that brings darkness to the surface so that we can alchemize it into light. Pluto will leave Capricorn for the very last time in our lifetimes, and it will enter visionary, future-focused Aquarius to stay for the next 20 years until January 2044. I call Pluto the great detoxifier. Why? Because yes, sometimes Pluto takes us to our knees, no question, but it does so that we can activate our primal strength and courage, reclaim our power, rise like the phoenix from the ashes, and become the next greatest version of who we came here to be. So in this video, my friend, I am going to share with you where we've been and where we're headed with Pluto and Aquarius, the new era, this whole new world that we're stepping into. What themes can we expect to experience? And the unique energy signature, the other planetary conversations that are going on when Pluto enters Aquarius for good. And at the end of the video, I'm going to share tips with you on how we can best move through this 20-year Pluto transit. I highly encourage you to watch part 1. This is like the first part of your 12 sign readings. And if you skip ahead to your readings, you're only going to get a surface understanding rather than the big picture and a sense of how you can best navigate these energies. Before I dive in, I want to say hello and welcome if you are brand new to the channel. I am so glad that you found us. You have found your tribe. Be sure and subscribe so you don't miss a video. And welcome back to those of you who've been watching my videos. I so appreciate your support of the channel. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for the sweet comments that you leave. I love reading them and I am super grateful for our connections. I'm Betsy Gutting. I am a psychic astrologer as well as an intuitive life coach, and I love helping you to feel empowered through Western tropical astrology. I offer both astrology consultations as well as coaching services, so stay tuned till the end of the video. I will tell you more about how we can work together. And at the end, I will also tell you about the free gift that I have for you and how you can download it. If you'd like to get my weekly inspirational astrology updates, which is the astrology between videos, go to my website, sign up for free, and you will get that free gift, which is an instant download right away. Now, this is not the first time that Pluto is entering Aquarius. We got our very first taste of Pluto in this fixed air sign from March to June of 2023. Pluto then retrograded back into Capricorn and moved into Aquarius again from late January through September 1st of 2024. It then went back into Capricorn one more time at 29 degrees, and from September 1st to November 19th, we have been getting a very intense last degree, the anaretic degree of 29 of Pluto in Capricorn. And this is a bloom of the energies. This has been quite an intense experience of Pluto and Capricorn. So as Pluto leaves Capricorn on November 19th, what are we waving goodbye to? And I have this little laugh when I say that because I have experienced 5 or 6, I lose count, difficult Pluto transits while it's been in Capricorn. It opposed my Cancer moon, it opposed my Cancer rising, it squared my Mars in Aries, it conjuncted my Saturn in Capricorn, and there's more. So you get the idea. I've been through multiple transformations, in other words. But Pluto in Capricorn is all about traditional values, the status quo. It showed us the dark side of the patriarchy, the wounded masculine. This includes the abusive father or the abusive boss at work who is embodying this masculine energy. Some of you may have gone through a toxic family or workplace situation. You could have seen favoritism going on or inequality or some sort of dysfunctional situation where you felt powerless. Pluto and Capricorn dealt with government control, corporate power, corruption, unequal wealth distribution, and more. I'm not going to go deep into this because I have several videos for you on Pluto and Capricorn. I am going to make a playlist for you with my Pluto and Capricorn videos along with my video on hard Pluto transits and how to navigate them. For those of you who are still perhaps working through the tail end of your Pluto and Capricorn experience, because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, This transit also involved karmic soul lessons, including cutting ties to situations that were toxic for you and rectifying or ending any imbalances of power in a relationship. And for those of you who keep an astrology journal, which I highly recommend, I encourage you to ask yourself as you reflect on your own life during this Pluto and Capricorn transit, what truths were revealed for you? Were there situations in which you felt powerless? How did you deal with them? How did you take back your own power? What non-negotiable boundaries do you have now? What will you no longer settle for? I know from your comments on my Pluto and Capricorn videos, many of you had losses of structures in your life, homes, jobs, careers, families, loved ones who passed away. And when we've come through a really challenging Pluto transit, it offers us a gift of regeneration, a gift of rebirth. Pluto transits are a call. They are a call to our evolutionary soul growth. It calls us home to our true self. It calls us into a recognition of the truth of who we are. A part of us that has often been dormant can be awakened through a Pluto transit. Big picture, Pluto wants to reveal to you a truth about the beauty, the power, the destiny even of your soul and what you're being guided to as the next expression in your soul's evolution. So Pluto moving into Aquarius, this is a whole new world, my friend. It truly is, and I want to tell you why. First of all, it's independent energy. It's freedom loving. It is let your freak flag fly, be authentic, be you. Free to be me. This is Aquarius energy. It's an air sign, which is communication. It's new ideas, it's innovations and inventions. Progressive, very much future focused, forward thinking, but it's also fixed so it can be stubborn about its ideas. We can be stubborn with Pluto and Aquarius about our own view of how we think things should be done. And Pluto in Aquarius is also focused on the collective. It's focused on the group, the community, the society, what is best for the whole. Aquarius is ruled by two different signs. The traditional ruler is Saturn, interestingly, because Pluto and Capricorn was ruled by Saturn, right? And Aquarius also has Saturn as one of its rulers. So one thing in common with Pluto and Capricorn is that we are going to be working with karmic lessons. They will be new karmic lessons, but through our interactions with one another and the choices and decisions we make, we will mature. We will become the wise elder, the sage, that much more. The modern ruler of Aquarius is Uranus, and Uranus is the planet of shock, awe, epiphanies, disruption, out of the blue moments. Your life could change on a dime. This is Uranus energy. Uranus is the cosmic intelligence. It is your visionary future self calling you forward. And so this can be enlightened thinking. This can be incredible divine downloads showing us the way. This is your genius, your brilliance, allowing you to channel really inventive ideas, off the charts creative thinking, and breaking free from anything that has been stagnant, any place where we've been too much in our comfort zone. Uranus wants to free and liberate us and show us an aspect of our divine intelligence that we didn't see before this. If you want to reinvent yourself, my friend, Pluto and Aquarius will really be supportive of any sort of changing something up, changing up your career, changing up your relationship, deepening it, or calling in a new relationship. It's also the planet of rebellion and revolutionary change. And unlike Pluto and Capricorn, where we were looking to the authorities, to the hierarchical structures of corporations and government for answers, unlike that transit, Pluto in Aquarius is power to the people. Aquarius is the sign of humanity, the humanitarian, looking out for humanity, equality. All voices must be heard. Now, yes, that is the ideal. How it will actually play out over the next 20 years, we shall see. But this is the ideal of Aquarius energy. And if, as we enter Pluto in Aquarius, November of 2024, if you are afraid of where society is going right now, which I know a lot of people are, The beauty of Pluto in Aquarius is that it helps us to mobilize, it helps us to organize, it helps us to find tribe, it helps us to create like-minded community, to stand up and be counted and create the structures within that community that support your values. We're all aware at this point that the internet has shrunk our world. It is easier now than ever to combine forces, to find your people, and to come together around a cause, whatever that cause is, and in doing so, reclaim your power, which is what Pluto in Aquarius supports us to do. Now, that said, Pluto also brings the darkness, the dark side of any energy to the surface. So no doubt there will be power struggles around control of the internet as well. Collectively, on a local level, I see more of us getting involved in our communities. I see more people finding a sense of safety, security, and joy by banding together and working toward something that's important to them. More people are going to be seeking their right place to live, a place in which they feel a sense of belonging. I know a lot of people right now who are thinking about moving and really giving some serious reflection and thought to where do they want to live. And since Mars rules movement and Mars is about to retrograde December 6th through February 23rd of 2025, I see that as a period in which many people will be contemplating their next actions and whether they want to move, and if so, to which location. I also think we're going to have more intentional communities forming, more like-minded people coming together to live in housing developments or even towns, possibly, even towns that are created around common goals, common values, perhaps. Of course, we are now more digitized than ever, and I think that is definitely going to continue. We are definitely going to be aware of being tracked, about our privacy being violated. But again, I also think that more and more people are going to be developing apps and other kinds of ways that we can protect our privacy. Grassroots rebellion against any kind of what we perceive as government intrusion or our rights being taken away, that's going to be met with just as much pushback by the people. Remember, Pluto and Aquarius, power to the people. Yes, we're going to have huge scientific advancements, no question. I mean, AI is already a household term. Will we have aliens landing on our planet? I believe by 2044, absolutely, maybe much sooner than we realize. Many people are already feeling that we are being watched by other life forms. Most of us are very aware that beings of the light are supporting us, but I also think we're going to get a clearer sense, a more palpable sense that beings who may be in some way embodied from other planets are also supporting us. And we may get a chance to meet those beings before Pluto in Aquarius is over. Recently, there was a congressional hearing on what the US Pentagon calls UAPs, which is unidentified anomalous phenomena, also known as UFOs. More and more, there is a push for the government to reveal what it knows to the public about these UAPs. So maybe it's not just our world that's getting smaller, maybe it's our galaxy that is going to feel that much smaller as well. Aquarius also rules air travel, airports, anything that is in flight. So flying cars. Currently, there are flying car prototypes. You could buy stock in companies that are developing flying cars. So leave me a comment. Let me know by when you see us using flying cars to get around traffic jams in the future. I'd love to hear. Pluto takes 248 years to come back to the same sign. That is its orbit, 248 years. So the last time Pluto was in Aquarius was 1777 to 1798. And that's when we had the French Revolution as well as the ending of the American Revolution. The American Revolution began in 1775, 2 years before Pluto entered Aquarius. But the peace treaty wasn't signed. The war didn't end until 1783 while Pluto was in Aquarius. And big picture, what was going on, of course, was that the world's balance of power was massively shifting. So that is something that we may see again as well. And I definitely feel that we're seeing it already, more and more people breaking free of traditional political structures, taking back their power, activating their own sense of leadership within themselves, within groups, within communities, and creating the life they want based on their own humanitarian vision. Pluto in Aquarius does represent unity consciousness, which includes compassion for all beings, meaning that despite our differences, despite our different priorities or values, we find common ground in our shared humanity. Whether we'll get here or not, it can sound pretty utopian, I know. Whether we can actually get here as a collective, we shall see. But a lot of people are already in this consciousness. And along with scientific technology, which of course is going to keep proliferating and proliferating, and there's a dark side to AI, we're all aware of that. It's going to depend on our own conscious choices of how we want to use this energy. Alongside this, we have the opportunity to tap into our spiritual technologies, our ability to become that much more psychic, to become one with our divine source, to trust our own inner guidance that much more, which is going to be so important, so vitally important when we have Pluto in an electric air sign like Aquarius. Staying grounded, staying focused on our heart's guidance. This is going to be essential for navigating this transit. The lower octave of Pluto in Aquarius is the hive mind, group think, where people just follow others without questioning. They do what everyone's doing and they get the benefits from doing so. But as we know, groupthink can be dangerous. But fortunately, Saturn, as the traditional ruler of Aquarius, says be discerning. Question your thinking. And I would add question authority. If you're not in alignment with the current leadership, that can be a catalyst for you to come into clarity with what matters to you most and how you want to see your values carried out in the world. Pluto can give you that much more courage and strength and vision to co-create what you see, my friend, as best for humanity. So who will most feel this transit of Pluto in Aquarius? Those of you who have planets or points in the fixed signs, Aquarius, Leo, Scorpio, or Taurus, you will feel this transit most personally, most intensely. Not just Aquarius risings, not just those of you who have Sun or Moon in Aquarius or the fixed signs. Look for the places in your astrology chart where you have any planets or points in the fixed signs, because Pluto will be making more challenging aspects to those planets or points, and those will be deeply transformational for you. Pluto will also be making easier transits to some of the signs, and when I get to the 12 sign readings, I will let you know if you'll be experiencing one of those harmonious aspects with Pluto, which can also be quite empowering. With Pluto, we can either be pulled forward by a vision, we can be ignited by passion, or pushed by pain. But when we have unconsciously suppressed or repressed a part of who we are, and this is what we refer to as the shadow, when we have pushed down a part of ourselves and we pushed it into the deep recesses, the shadows, Pluto helps us to see that, bring it out into the light, so that we have that much more power to go after in our lives what matters most to us, to co-create our dreams. And this is why we say that during a difficult Pluto transit, we are like a snake shedding a skin. There is no question, I've experienced this over and over, Pluto can absolutely take us to the depths of our emotions, the depths of our psyche even. And while it's happening, we can feel quite powerless. But we always have options and choices during a Pluto transit. We always have options. Once we stop resisting what we can't control, once we stop holding on so tightly to maybe what has to go as a part of our evolutionary soul process, as part of our soul's path, we're always evolving and growing. Our lives can't stay the same. As humans, we don't want to let go of the good stuff. As humans, we want to keep what is helping us to feel more safe and secure. But if it's a dependency, a codependency, an addiction, a job or situation that we've outgrown, a relationship maybe that was karmic and it's not meant to continue, any of these kinds of things, sometimes we do have to let go. And that, I have to acknowledge, can be extremely painful. But also during a Pluto transit, you can be catalyzed by passion. You can meet a person who wakes you up. A part of you that has been dormant, your creative spark, can come alive again. Pluto transits can be tremendously empowering. But while we're in it, while we're in the depths, yeah, it can definitely be quite a bumpy ride. Now, I've already done a couple of videos for you on Pluto and Aquarius, and I will make a playlist for you with these videos and this current video. But what is different about the November 24 ingress of Pluto into Aquarius, which I haven't yet talked about, is that when Pluto enters Aquarius, November 19th, it's going to oppose Mars in Leo. And this opposition is going to be exact the beginning of January. And then after Mars completes its retrograde in Leo and Cancer, in April 26th of 2025, we're going to have another Mars and Leo opposite Pluto transit as well. So what this means to me, big picture, is we're going to be in deliberation. We are deliberating. We are reflecting on something. We are becoming clear on what we desire, on our new vision, perhaps, on what we want to put our time, energy, resources into. I find it so synchronistic that Mars will be opposite Pluto and that Mars is just about to go into retrograde. December 6th, it will retrograde. So between November 19th and April 26th of 2025, you may be gaining clarity on your priorities, on your heart's desire, on what you're most passionate about, my friend. Or you could know right now what that is, but be getting some sort of opposition from someone else in your life. Or there could be two parts of you, your Leo self and your Aquarius self, these different areas of your chart, which I'm going to speak about in the 12 sign readings. The parts of you that these energies represent could also be in conflict. And this, I feel, we're going to work through during the Mars retrograde. How you feel these energies will completely depend on your natal chart, because you could be getting some really nice aspects from Mars in Leo or Pluto in Aquarius. And this is why we as astrologers always have to look at your whole chart to let you know what these transits mean for you. For all of us, I feel we're going to be feeling a strong desire, a passionate desire even, for success in one particular area of life. So not only do we have this Mars opposite Pluto when Pluto goes back into Aquarius, in addition, in July of 2025, Uranus, which is the co-ruler of Aquarius, Uranus is going to change signs and enter Gemini, a fellow air sign. And Pluto in Aquarius and Uranus in Gemini are going to make a beautiful, harmonious trine. This is when I feel we're really going to feel an acceleration of the energies, a future forward. Things are changing. Now, I know you're probably saying, well, I feel the changes now. The changes are intense. Yes, absolutely. But I also think we're going to feel a new wave of energy that feels very Aquarian, new options, new world, new era, the themes that I just spoke about. Stay open. Stay open to new possibilities. These air energies, Aquarius and Gemini, they are all about staying open, being creative, letting new information, new ideas, new possibilities come into your awareness. And then once Uranus is in Gemini to stay, which will be in 2026, we're going to have Pluto in Aquarius, Uranus in Gemini, and Neptune in Aries all harmonize. They will all be within orb of one another throughout 2026. This is super supportive energy for co-creating whatever your future vision is, whatever you want to bring into your life, my friend. So I'm going to very quickly run through my tips for navigating this Pluto and Aquarius transit. Own your power. Remember that you always have options. If you are feeling at a loss, if you are feeling like you're setting boundaries and the other, whoever the other is, isn't honoring your boundaries, take care of your immediate needs. Get support if you need it from a professional, a coach like myself, a therapist, members of your tribe, people that you trust. Often with Pluto transits, we have trust issues come up and we need an outside neutral guide to help us move through these deep and sometimes very dark energies. Stay in touch with your emotions. The lower octave of Aquarius energy is detaching from our own emotions, going cold on ourselves or going cold on others. So stay in touch with your heart, my friend. Very, very important. Pluto wants you to face your fears. We have no choice but to do this. It's part of the skin shedding process. Facing your fears, moving through them, processing them is going to bring you into your own that much more. In my experience with a hard Pluto transit, we come through feeling so much more comfortable in our own skin. Pluto truly can make you new again. It can ignite your passion like no other planet. It can take you into a clear awareness of your Dharma. It can increase your charisma and your magnetism even, and bring you the gift of a rebirthed self. Remember, Pluto regenerates. It can take some time, but Pluto is known for its ability to regenerate what we let go of in new form. Okay, my beautiful friend, let us do the 12 sign readings now. Listen for your rising sign. This is the area of your life corresponding with the area of your natal chart, in which Pluto will be transiting the sign of Aquarius according to the whole sign house system. Listen for your sun sign, as well as the themes of your sun sign will often also be relevant to your life, and your moon sign can give you further insight on how you may experience this transit in your relationships and emotionally. And we're going to start with Aquarius, because beautiful Aquarius, this is your Pluto transit. This is a wow. This is a really big deal to have Pluto moving through your sign. Now, Pluto, of course, is leaving Capricorn, and where it transited when it was in Capricorn was your 12th house. The house of the subconscious mind, the house of rest and retreat, the house of the other realms, the ethereal realms, your divine connection. You may have had a deep inner psychological catalytic experience with Pluto in your 12th house. You could have had very intense dreams. You could have had out-of-body experiences like astral travel. You could have had a deep spiritual awakening. You could have gotten in touch with your psychic guidance in profound, life transformative ways. Beautiful Aquarius. Let me know in the comments if that's true for you. It is now moving, Pluto now moving into your sign, of course, and it will move into your first house. The first house is the house of you. It is yourself. It's your self-image. It's how you want others to see you. It is the roles that you play professionally and personally. And it is your identity, your I am self, as we say. So with a conjunction, when Pluto is right there next to your rising sign, for those of you who are Aquarius risings, or next to your sun sign, if you have sun in the first house, you are likely asking during this time, what is my vision? What is my vision for my identity? Who do I want to be now? Who am I, you might be asking? And a conjunction means that Pluto is on the same page with your rising or whatever planet that it's transiting in your sign. It's on the same page. And this is why some people have very profound, challenging, painful transits when they're experiencing a conjunction from Pluto, and other people find it very empowering and uplifting and challenging in a good way. It could be either one for you. And partly this will be determined by what other planetary conversations, transits could be happening in your chart at the same time. I would have to see your chart to be able to tell you more. But regardless, you are going to change and transform, beautiful Aquarius. And it's very possible that this change will come through your relationships in some way. And I say this because across from your energy is your 7th house of partnerships. Across from the house of the self is your 7th house of partnerships. And Mars is going to be transiting your 7th house when Pluto goes back into Aquarius. I speak more about this in part 1 of the video. Mars is going to be opposing Pluto on and off from November until April of 2025. Many of you could feel this as somebody pushing on you, pressuring you, or two parts of yourself that are in conflict. Or it could feel like passionate desire to make some sort of change, to go after something, to experience success, ambition, achievement in this area of your life. Some role, whether it's a business role or a role in your family or a role in a relationship. And Aquarius, often when we have a Pluto transit, if you're an Aquarius rising, when we have a transit like that to our ascendant, this means any area of our life could change. Our home could change. A relationship with a family member could change. Our relationship could change. Career can change. So be really aware and open to your own inner promptings, what the universe is telling you, what your own soul is telling you it's ready for. And if you have an experience of feeling like there's a part of you inside that is dying, or a part of you that is shedding a skin, that would be very, very natural for you to experience. And a Pluto transit doesn't mean that our most important primary relationship is going to end, but it will likely be tested. You will likely have to go through either a deepening of the relationship, or if you can't rebalance power in some way, if your power with the other person isn't in balance, Pluto is going to call on you to rebalance it. So beautiful Aquarius, let me shuffle for you now and let us see what the cards have to say for you. And I do have a separate video on hard Pluto transits that I made while Pluto was in Capricorn, with my own story about that. And the big picture principles of Pluto and what it's about, I illustrate that with my own story in that video as well, for those of you who might be interested. So let us see what the cards have to say for you, Aquarius. Aquarius, your card is the Will of the Wisp, Treasures Hidden in the Shadows. It's so interesting because I see this as an Aquarian card. For some reason, all of the blue and the very heavenly, ethereal nature of this image reminds me of your energy. To me, this is very throat chakra. It's you becoming more authentic, speaking your truth, letting people know what's important to you, being willing to call things out in gentle, compassionate ways, of course, with people that you interact with, people that are important in your life, especially. But this is saying there are treasures in your shadows. If you do the deep dive into the underworld during this Pluto in Aquarius transit, beautiful Aquarius, it is because there is a treasure awaiting you that is going to wake you up to who you truly are. It's going to wake you up to a passion, perhaps, or a vocation, or something in you that's been dormant, that is dying to come alive, dying to come alive. That is what Pluto transits want to do. They want to awaken us to the truth of who we really are. And this card tells me that this is very much on offer for you, beautiful Aquarius. So don't be afraid to make that deep dive and get support if you need it. And you can see the magic in this card. You can see the light. You can see the brilliance. You can see that there is an alchemy to this process of diving deep and accessing the treasure that is you, Aquarius. There is an alchemy and a magic to this that is something to very much look forward to. So if you resonate with this message, with the energy of this card, perhaps leave me a comment. I would love to hear. Capricorn, hello, beautiful Capricorn. Beautiful Capricorn, you have had Pluto transiting your first house of the self. This has been deeply transformational for many of you. I know some of you have told me that this has just been very, very empowering and exciting and wonderful for you. And a lot of you have said it's been very painful and difficult and hard. So I know that it's been both things. You've had a conjunction, and conjunctions can go either way. But you have transformed, regardless of how it's happened or how it's felt while the transformation was happening. You have transformed your sense of self, your identity. A role that you have played has changed for you, either professionally or personally. I bet a lot of you have released relationships, maybe people have said goodbye to you. You have gone through a deep, deep transformation from the inside out. I know this because of all the comments that I've read that you guys have so graciously left on my hard Pluto transits video, and the other Pluto and Capricorn transits videos as well, which I have made a playlist for you, and I will link to that in the description box below. Pluto is now moving on from your first house, yay, into Aquarius in your second house of earned income, values, and self-worth. So everything that you have learned from Pluto being in your first house is now going to give you that much more power, beautiful Capricorn, that much power, earning power, believing in yourself, knowing that you're worthy of what you desire, a higher sense of deserving, a more amplified sense of deserving. Leave me a comment and let me know if that's true for you, because you don't come through a Pluto and Capricorn transit as a Capricorn without having opened up to a new sense of who you are. And this is really beautiful. So this is going to help you to earn the amount of money that you want to earn if you're not retired. It's going to help you to stay true to yourself. Very important. To make money doing what you're passionate about, or if you're not making money from your passion, to feel more on purpose as you bring your empowered way of being to the work that you do. Money, the job that you do, the business that you have, if you have a business, this is going to be very much up for you. If you have not already transformed the way that you earn a living, it may be very important to you that you do so. Not all Capricorns will feel that they must earn money doing what they love, but many of you will now be feeling that. And if you have a story about money, that it's scarce, if you grew up with in a household where there was an atmosphere of lack in any way, this may be something you transform during this Pluto transit. Mars for you, Capricorn, is going to oppose Pluto, and Mars will be transiting in your 8th house of shared resources, taxes, loans, investments, home ownership, inheritances. So with Mars in your 8th house, Pluto in your 2nd house, and this is going to be something that you will experience off and on for the next 6 months as of November of 2024 when this video is going live. With these very, very intense energies on your 2nd and 8th house axis, you will very likely be focused on your finances, focused on your security, your material security. And Pluto here wants to help you transform any sense of disempowerment around being able to take care of yourself, around self-reliance. So transmuting any fears that you have around money, being focused on your sense of deserving, on abundance, shifting your mindset to abundance. Those kinds of practices will be really valuable for you during this transit. So Capricorn, let me now shuffle for you and let us see what the cards have to say as you are leaving this very long transit of Pluto in your sign and going into Pluto, having to do with you really solidifying your material security, your sense of all of my needs are met and then some. Okay, Capricorn. Capricorn, your card is the Dragon's Hoard Protecting the Future. This is the image. Beautiful Capricorn, you are focused on protecting your future. The 8th house is the house of assets. That's where Mars will be transiting and opposing Pluto. You are going to feel, if not obsessed, which is a Pluto quality, if not obsessed, you're going to feel, I think, very strongly focused on this area of your life. And if you look closely at this card, what I see is a dragonfly. I see a dragonfly, but it almost looks like a cross between a dragonfly and a fish. To me, this is all very watery energy, but it could also be this dragonfly flying through a portal. This is portal energy. You see the purple light here, this purple orb, bubble light? That is the divine. The Dragon's Hoard. You are going to have to tell me how you interpret this card, but when I see it, I see you going through a portal. I see you focused on protecting your future. I see keys here, and there's a sense of you receiving an epiphany or an awareness about what is the key to protecting your future. And of course, the future is Aquarius energy. All of the blue. To me, that's Aquarius energy as well. You are taking your focus, your intention, your strong drive through this portal into a brand new phase of your life, beautiful Capricorn, as you become stronger, more courageous, more clear, more resolute, and more adept at creating the future that brings you more alive. Beautiful Capricorn, that brings you more alive. So if you resonate with this, let me know what you think. What do you see in this card? I would absolutely love to hear. Leave me a comment. Let us know. Sagittarius, Sagittarius, beautiful Sagittarius. Sagittarius, Sag, you have had Pluto and Capricorn transiting your second house of earned income, self-worth, your values, what is most important to you, and your sense of deserving, your sense of, I deserve this level of material comfort in my life. The second house is the house of material security. So let me know in the comments, if you would, have you had changes and empowerment in your life in these second house areas? Pluto is now moving into your third house. This is your Aquarian energy. And Pluto will make a sextile to your energy. A sextile is a harmonious aspect. Yes, this is something to be excited about. It is giving you new opportunities. It's giving you new options. It's bringing you solutions. It can be something that is a manifestation that you've been working on, waiting for, visioning for a very long time, Sag. The third house is your own business if you have one. It can be freelance work. It is your messaging that you put out into the world if you do. It is writing, it is speaking, it's presenting, it's sales for some of you. You know, every business really has an element of sales. It's also your mindset, your inner narrative. Some of you are going to have an inner narrative reset during Pluto in Aquarius. Some of you will start a new business. Some of you will create a new website. You may meet someone in your local environment that is transformative to you. You may transform your relationship with a sibling. You could transform a relationship with a neighbor or a landlord or an aunt, uncle, or cousin. This is the house of your daily interactions, your networking, the people that you meet and speak with as you go about your daily life. It's also short trips. It's also your devices. It's also your vehicle. This house is ruled by Mercury, and that's important because Mercury rules our communication, our mindset, and all of the transactions that we make in our earthly life. It's also the technology you use. So you could change that. If you are somebody who does have their own business, you are responsible for setting up your technology so that you can do the work that you do, or a creative project, or anything that you take charge of where you have to make sure you have the right technology. You could also see a real positive shift for you in this area as well. Now, Sag, Mars is opposing Pluto during the first several months of this transit, and Mars will be in your ninth house. It will oppose Pluto. That means you could have somebody in the ninth house arena. Ninth house rules publishing, higher learning. It could be a guru, a spiritual teacher, an astrologer. It could be somebody that you are getting advice from or that you're learning from, or someone who has authority in an educational institution. And somehow you could find that there is tension between you and that person, or you could find that there are two parts of you that are experiencing some tension. You could be working really hard and be very focused on publishing something, on putting something out into the world, on moving to another country, traveling, long distance travel, expanding. Mars in the ninth house, it makes us want to expand. We expand through new scenery. And of course, we can have new scenery in a lot of different ways. A lot of times that is through the things that we open up and awaken to and learn, or the travels that we take. But with Mars here, you are probably feeling a very strong desire, maybe inspired even, to expand your world in some way. Sag, leave me a comment. Let me know if that is true. And it doesn't just have to be publishing a book or videos. It could be publishing anything that is spiritually expanding to you, or that makes you feel more in alignment with your purpose, Sag. Okay, so now let's see what the cards have to say for you for this Pluto in Aquarius transformational transit. All Pluto transits help us to grow, transform, and connect with a deeper part of ourselves. And I speak much more about that in part 1 of this video. If you haven't watched that, I encourage you to go back and do so. Okay, Sagittarius. Sagittarius. Your card is Sag. Dancing on one foot, balancing act. You may feel, or you could already be feeling, that you are doing a balancing act, beautiful Sag. And this balancing act could be in the areas that I just mentioned, the Mars opposition to Pluto. You could really be focusing on your everyday world, getting things done, taking care of business, but also your inner expansion, your inner learning, your new spiritual horizons, new adventures. Some of you could feel torn right now between, do I still want to live in this country? Do I still want to live here? Do I want to move someplace else? That could be part of your Mars opposite Pluto journey, is deciding whether you want to stay in the location you're in or move, because after all, the third house where Pluto will be transiting, that's your location, whether it's a work location or a home location. And Pluto there shows you anything that's out of alignment with you. So that could bring you to making some sort of move as well. But regardless, you are balancing. So take very good care of yourself. Regardless of what's going on with Pluto, always focusing on meeting your immediate needs, your most important needs, will help you move through this transit with more ease, grace, and joy. Beautiful Sag, if this reading resonates, leave me a comment. I would love to hear. Scorpio, hello, beautiful Scorpio. Dear Scorpio, Pluto in Capricorn has been transiting your third house for the past 15 years or so. Pluto has been here, and this is your house of siblings, neighbors, aunts, uncles, and cousins. It's your local environment. It is your everyday errands. It's all of the interactions and networking that you have done on a day-to-day basis. And if you have your own business or you're a freelancer, it would also be speaking and writing and the message that you put out into the world, if you do so, or any kind of sales work that you do. It's communication, big picture. And for you, you had a sextile between Pluto and Capricorn in your energy, Scorpio. So you could have really had some great learning opportunities, or opportunities to have a side gig or do your own thing with money making. Or you could have healed a relationship with a sibling or a neighbor or a family member. This could have been quite an empowering transit for you. Your local environment could have changed. You could have moved your office, you could have moved your home, you could have changed where you go about doing some of the things that are important to you, your daily routines. And you probably became a more powerful communicator as Pluto moved through this house of interacting with others. If you do any sort of speaking or writing or presenting or teaching work, you are probably that much more dynamic now after this Pluto and Capricorn transit in your third house, Scorpio. Now Pluto in Aquarius is moving through your fourth house of home, family, and childhood conditioning. And it is making a square to your energy, which can feel like pressure. It can feel like you have to release tension when Pluto is transiting this house. Something is probably going to be illuminated for you that has to do with a family member, that has to do with your family of origin, or the people that you live with now. You are on a deeper level working through issues of belonging, of rootedness. This is the point of the IC in your chart, which is the nadir, and it is the most personal area of our charts. So this is often when we do shadow work on our childhood conditioning. Inner child work can be extremely healing during a transit like this. Ancestral healing also. This transit is going to transform you from the inside out, Scorpio. Anything that you need to see that you haven't seen before, having to do with your family of origin, you are going to see it. It's going to be revealed to you during this transit. You are going to be a brand new person in 2044, or when you experience this will depend on the degrees of the planets and points in your natal chart. I would have to see your chart to tell you when that's happening for you, but at the end of this transit by 2044, you will be a new person, beautiful Scorpio, much more empowered, and you will feel that much more rooted within your own self, that much more secure within your own being, regardless of what the outer world is doing, regardless of what's happening in your life externally. So that is extremely valuable in your life, in your happiness going forward, beautiful Scorpio. Mars is going to oppose Pluto in your 10th house. Mars will be transiting your 10th house of career, legacy, retirement, how you spend your time if you don't work anymore. Mars is going to be here transiting this 10th house, which is the most public area of your chart. It's the top of your chart. And this means that you will probably have a very strong drive and ambition around career, around expressing your life purpose. Some of you, you're going to feel quite motivated. You could feel pressure. You could feel an intensity, especially around work-life balance, because Mars will be in your 10th house of career and Pluto will be in your 4th house. So as you are doing any inner excavation in your 4th house of home and family and the self and your roots and belonging, Mars is in your 10th house saying, okay, what's our vision for career? What's our vision for how we want to spend our life? Some of you will move. Some of you will really change your life during this transit because it's on an angle of your chart. Pluto, the 4th house, that's an angle of the chart, especially if it's close to your IC point. But balancing work, home, family, career, all of that will be very up for you, I feel, during this transit. Okay, Scorpio. Let me shuffle for you and let's see what the cards have to say for you, beautiful Scorpio. Scorpio, your card is Straddling Worlds, Wandering Between Realms. Wow. Okay, this is a card of awakening. This is a card of spiritual awakening. We don't straddle worlds. We don't wander between the worlds unless we are really waking up to our ethereal self, right? So this is really exciting. I love all the purple in this card. That is the crown chakra. There's the throat chakra, you communicating to others what you're going through if you go through a spiritual awakening. The biggest spiritual awakening that I had was during a Pluto transit, and it happened for me during meditation. So some of you could have an awakening through meditation. You could have an awakening through a dream, a nighttime dream, or through meeting somebody and having a conversation that catalyzes a transformation for you. But this card is saying you're going to have one foot in both worlds, and that can be extremely exciting, but also challenging. So if you want support, get my book, The Magic of Saying Yes. I talk about my own experiences of spiritual awakening, having one foot in each world, and how I move through that time. Beautiful Scorpio, since we've already had Pluto here this year, you may already be feeling this. It will be different for everyone, but if this reading resonates for you, leave me a comment in the comments below. I would love to hear. Libra, hello, beautiful Libra. Libra, Pluto you've been through it with Pluto and Capricorn too. Why? Because you have been squared by Pluto's energy. Pluto has been in your 4th house of home, family, childhood conditioning. A lot of you have done some deep healing on your ancestral line. You have done deep healing on your own childhood conditioning or past lives, perhaps. This is the house of roots and belonging. I would guess that many of you have a deeper sense of belonging within yourself. But during this transit, you could have moved homes. You could have become very unhappy with your family life. You could have been very unhappy with your living situation, and you could have transformed it during this time or be in the process of transforming it now. Pluto moving into Aquarius will make a trine to your energy, Libra. A trine is harmonious. And I'm singing that because it's such a lovely thing, Libra. You are going to get a lovely gift from Pluto trining your energy in the 5th house, the 5th house of true love and romance, creative expression, children, your own inner child. This is a passionate, transformational transit for you. Many people meet partners or deepen their relationships with their current partner during a Pluto transiting the 5th house. Also, you could come more alive to your own creative expression. If you are an artist or however you create, we all create in some way. However you do your creations in life, you could find that your creations become that much more inspired. You can have more fun. This is a time that you're definitely going to be wanting to have more fun. You're going to want to expand your joy. You're going to want to feel inspired. You're going to be tapping into different places that the creative muse, wherever the creative muse might be for you, But this can still be very intense, I have to say, because with Pluto moving through our 5th house, we could already be partnered and then meet somebody who really lights us up, and that could bring us into a state of confusion. Now, because you're getting a trine, I don't think that's going to happen. Usually trines are more gentle. They are more about us saying yes to something, focusing on it, wanting success in a specific area of life. So I think a lot of you are really fired up for a new lover romance. If you don't have one already, you're really fired up to bring your creative work out into the world, or to have a child, perhaps to get pregnant, some of you, or just to bring a lot more passion into your life. Beautiful. Libra. Mars is going to be opposing Pluto. Mars will, for you, will be transiting your 11th house of friendships. This is social media platforms if you have them. This is communities, it's causes. Some of you may become more active in terms of a cause if you have one. Some of you really want to find new friends. You really want to expand your marketing or your branding. You could be redoing that. You could be really focused on putting your brand, so to speak, out into the world. Or maybe just being a lot more social, finding new friends, finding like-minded friends, definitely feeling more connected to tribe. I think a lot of you will resonate with. But remember, because Mars is sort of pushing against Pluto, Mars in your 11th house of the world, that is the world card in the tarot. That's the house of hopes, wishes, and dreams, long-term financial gains as well. You could be really focused on wanting to make something happen in any of those areas. And Pluto in your 5th house is pushing against. Mars and Pluto are kind of pushing against each other. So that could show up in an opposition within a relationship, feeling like you're not on the same page with someone in a relationship. Or it could be two different parts of you feeling in conflict somehow. Or it could just be both Mars and Pluto going, let's make this thing happen. Let's put all of our effort and focus and stamina into making this happen, whatever that is for you, wherever you want success, based on the themes that I just mentioned. So Libra, let me now shuffle the cards for you and see what the cards have to say. So with Mars in the 11th house, making an aspect to Pluto, you are likely very focused on a specific dream right now. What is the current dream of your life? Beautiful. Libra, let me know in the comments below, because there is something that you really want to make happen. And this is a really good time for that, based on the planets and points in your chart, because if you're not being activated yet, you may not feel it until your planets and points in Leo and Aquarius especially are activated. Okay. And your own energy as well, your Libra energy as well. Okay, so let's see. Libra, your card is the Dust Devil, moving out of stagnation. Okay, so this will not be true for all of you, but some of you have maybe felt stagnant in some way. Pluto in your sign probably hasn't allowed you to be stagnant, but if it's been a while since Pluto activated you, if you had a hard Pluto transit like some time ago, then you could be ready by now for something new and different. And the Dust Devil has us look at any patterns within that are keeping us in the same place. Because you are ruled by Venus, Libra, because you're relationship focused, it could be a relationship we're talking about. Is there a relationship in which the energy between you two is stagnant? Is there a relationship with a friend that's been stagnant? Or in your own creative expression, your relationship with kids, or home and family? It could come up in any of these areas, or career for that matter, because Pluto's been in your 4th house, opposing your career house, so it could be career as well. But you get the message of this card. Change it up. Deal with your fears. Move through any obstacles to change. Be open to change, because it's time for change. It's time for joy. It's time for something new and wonderful to come into your life. Beautiful Libra. Virgo. Hello, beautiful Virgo. Beautiful Virgo. Pluto has been in Capricorn, moving through your 5th house of children, creative expression, love, and romance, dating for some of you. With Pluto here, you have probably really had some passionate opportunities, some deepening of relationships with a child or with somebody that you have dated. somebody that has turned into a long-term relationship partner, perhaps, but also your own creativity. You've gotten a trine from Pluto and Capricorn, and when we get a trine to our energy, both of you being earth energy, when we get a trine, the transformation tends to be more empowering and less painful. Leave me a comment. Let me know if this is true for you. Pluto now in Aquarius will be in your 6th house. And the 6th house is the Virgo house. The 6th house is the house of daily habits, your wellness, your health, your exercise habits, and also your daily work schedule. So now Pluto, moving through your 6th house in Aquarius, is detoxifying any work situation that isn't in your best interest, that isn't healthy for you on some level. This house is all levels of health. It's physical, mental, emotional, even spiritual. So anything that is out of integrity for you, for your soul, for your path, beautiful Virgo, Pluto is coming along saying we have to detoxify it. We have to, this could be daily habits for some of you. This could be something along the lines of an addiction. This could be where you're not exercising and you need to, or where you're working on choosing the right foods for your diet, possibly. But for a lot of you, when I see Pluto move through here, people are transforming through a health issue sometimes, or they're transforming through a toxic work situation, or all of their power and purpose and passion is being put into their work. They're working really hard, or they are beginning to get clarity on leaving a job and starting something new and going to a new job, or starting their own business, starting their own passionate vocation. Any of those things could be true for you. Mars is opposing Pluto for the first several months of this transit. I speak all about that in the first part of this video. Mars will be moving through your 12th house, and this is the house of the subconscious mind. This is the house of the deep recesses of your psyche. Many of you during this transit will probably reprogram your subconscious mind. You will have intense dreams. You will take a deeper dive into your inner world. That is the invitation. The invitation is to rework any parts of your psyche, Virgo, that are not supportive of you. And this could be where you received earlier in your life or in past lives, you got criticism from others, you were judged by others, and now it's time to release that. Now, with Mars transiting your 12th house, which I have to acknowledge can be a difficult transit, it can be a stressful transit, but it can also be a transit in which you really get some eye-opening epiphanies about what's going on in your head and your inner narrative, and you have the opportunity to change that. You have the opportunity to feel very much empowered and impassioned about strengthening your divine connection. So this is a great transit for working on your partnership with your soul, as I call it in my book, The Magic of Saying Yes. And I teach you how to do automatic writing in that book. I teach you I give you different practices for partnering with your soul. That could be really perfect for this transit of Mars transiting your 12th house and opposing Pluto. So you could feel a little bit sort of back and forth pressure on both sides of your 6th house of wellness, where Pluto is moving and transiting, and also your 12th house of your inner world, your outer world, and the goal being to find balance in your mental and emotional states and balance in your sense of well-being and health. Beautiful Virgo. So let me now shuffle for you. Let's see what the cards have to say for you. Virgo, your card is the deep diver diving into a task. Well, the 6th house is very much about the tasks that we do. And Virgo, you are very good at tasks. You are very good at getting things done. You are the person that everyone can rely on at work. You're the person everyone wants to hire because you do a thorough job. You care. You really work hard to make sure that all of your tasks, both for yourself and for others, are completed. Now, what I love about this card is this is a mermaid, and she's diving into the deep waters of her mind. And I feel that this is about the 12th house aspect of this transit, Mars opposing Pluto, Mars transiting through your 12th house, that you are doing a deep inner dive to find the treasure that is you. That is another layer of your soul's expression. that is a part of you that is waiting to come more alive, wanting to come more alive. You are the mermaid, and you are doing the deep dive, and you are recognizing a truth about you that is going to bring you to the next level of joy and fulfillment. Beautiful Virgo. If this resonates for you, leave me a comment. I would love to hear. Let us know. Leo, hello, beautiful Leo. Leo, Pluto has been in Capricorn, transiting your 6th house of daily work, your daily habits, your wellness, your optimal health, emotional, physical, mental health, spiritual health even. This has been a house in which you have, some of you, perhaps experienced a toxic work situation. You've changed jobs. You've opened up to your own empowerment. You realize where maybe you were giving away your power in a work situation, or you've made big changes or a big change in your health, in your physical health. You could have had a serious health issue or one that really brought you down for a while, but you moved through that, you transformed it, and you were like the phoenix rising from the ashes as a result. Exercise, diet, any medications that you take, whatever you put into your body, this could have been all part of the transformational power of this transit for you. Now Pluto in Aquarius is moving through your 7th house of partnerships. And Leo, this is a very, very important life-changing transit for you. Your current partner, if you're partnered, whether it's a business partner or a romantic partner, that relationship is going to go through something. It doesn't have to be a death and rebirth process, but it will either deepen or it will end, because a Pluto transit to the 7th house, it puts all of our relationships to the test. It shows us if there are any cracks in the foundation of any of our relationships while Pluto is transiting here. And this is any relationships in which you have an agreement with another person, spoken or unspoken. I will have your back, you will have my back. I have to be honest, this is where you could experience a betrayal from another person. This is where you could experience just somebody not showing up for you in a way that you always thought they would. You could walk away from a relationship. You could realize that you've outgrown a relationship. This can affect friendships as well. But when you come through this transit, you are a brand new person. You are more confident, you're more courageous, you have more strength, and you know what you will never settle for again. And you can see where you have ignored red flags. And obviously, this is going to affect everyone differently. I don't want to put out negative vibes or make you think that this is going to be, what it's going to be for you. I'm just giving you some themes for what generally occurs. Pluto is a transformational planet, and it is going to oppose you. And so this is why when Pluto opposes our energy, it shows up as somebody else who is pushing back on us, or who, for some reason, we feel there's an opposing energy between us and that person. So you could also have a passionate romance during this time. You could have a catalyst come into your life. You could have multiple passionate connections where the romantic attraction is off the charts, off the charts. I believe these people are sent to us to wake us up. Sometimes these relationships last long term, and sometimes they don't. It's different for everyone. But it can be a time where you become more alive to yourself, to your own passion, to your own sexuality, to just who you are in relationship. You could become more alive and awakened by that as well. It can be quite deep and rich and joyful and freeing, liberating for you as well, Leo. Mars is going to be transiting your 1st house of identity. You're going to be more assertive. This is already happening for you. Let me know in the comments, do you feel more assertive? Now, I know that assertiveness is not usually an issue for Leos. Usually Leos, they have no problem doing their mighty roar, so to speak. But this is a time, if you feel like you need to set boundaries with others, if you need to advocate for yourself, Mars is helping you with this. Mars is absolutely helping you with this. You are solidifying your identity. You are creating a new identity. You're taking on a new role. You're just starting a business, or you're becoming a parent, or you're becoming, there's a new role in your personal life or your professional life that you could be taking on, or you could be leaving a role. Mars also cuts ties to situations, relationships, roles that are no longer appropriate for us. So it could be either of those. Okay, so Leo, let me shuffle for you and we'll see what the cards have to add to your reading. Leo, your card is limitless possibility. Stars in the sky, limitless possibility. This card is about tapping into your divine wisdom. This person is in alpha state. This person is embodying their light being self. This person is elevated. This card is number 6, 51, reduces to a 6. 6 is harmony, it's joy, it's love. But the 5 is change, and the 1 is self-initiation, self-determination, going your way. Doesn't mean you're separating from anyone, but you have to take into consideration what you want and need and desire. And change and transformation is 5 energy. So that is part, you are transforming through connecting to your own higher self. And this is going to take you into a place of limitless possibility in love, in relationship, in partnership. Look to the stars in the sky, because the stars in the sky have messages for you, beautiful Leo. And if this message resonates, let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear. Cancer, hello, beautiful Cancer. Cancer, I am Cancer rising, Cancer moon, and Pluto in Capricorn, as most of you well know, has been transiting your 7th house of partnerships. It's been opposing your energy. Your relationships have been transformed. Some of you could have had partnership, a marriage end, or a significant other relationship end. You could have deepened a partnership. You could have had one go through the ringer, but come out on the other side of it as both of you as new people. Definitely, this is a death and rebirth process. You know it well, Cancer. Some of you could have had relationships end as well. I myself have gone through all of that, and I have lots of compassion for anyone who's gone through it as well. Now, Cancer, Pluto is now in your 8th house. That's where Aquarius is for you in the whole sign house system. And the 8th house is shared resources in partnership. It is emotional and sexual intimacy. It is money. It's a money and partnership house. It's wealth, whatever wealth is for you. It is your assets. It's you growing some sort of, it's you feeling secure in your future, because it's like a future house. It's where our retirement funds, if we have one, or a nest egg, if we have one, home ownership, if we own our own home, it's where all of those things land in our chart. So I believe, Cancer, that many of you are very focused on your long-term security. You're very focused on perhaps calling in a relationship, if you don't have one, in which you would share time, money, resources, emotional and physical intimacy, or you are deepening this with a partner. Mars right now is transiting your 2nd house of earned income, your values, and your sense of deserving. So many of you are focused on your own earned income, calling in new money, changing jobs, getting a new job, getting a promotion. This is where your desire, your motivation, your efforts are going. But again, this is the whole axis of the 2nd and 8th house. And with Mars on one end, bookending, so to speak, Pluto, the other end, there could feel like tension there. It can be a volatile transit, especially if you're partnered and you share either in business or in your personal life, and you share money, time, or resources, or you're trying to make decisions together. You could feel like your partner is sometimes opposing you, or you're just not on the same page. That could happen. That's going to be for the next several months. When Mars goes retrograde, we're going to be doing reflection. This is a great time to be talking with a partner. This is a great time to be envisioning a partnership that you want. If you don't have a partner, you could be in talks with somebody if you want to partner with someone in business. This could be, it's a time of deliberation. A lot of us are going to be deliberating on our desires, our passion, what we most want now, especially in this area of finances, material security, assets, and it's a house of transformation. I mean, to have Pluto in the 8th house, I say we because I'm Cancer rising, we are going to transform through this transit, no question, but it's not going to be heavy and as painful as Capricorn opposing our energy, because when Mars leaves, there won't be anything opposing our Cancer energy. But to the extent that you could still work on your sense of self-worth, what you deserve, aligning your life with your values, increasing your income if you want to increase your income, beautiful Cancer, this is a really good time for that, the first several months until, well, really through April. And I speak all about this in the first part of the video in more length. So Cancer, let me pull a card for you and see what the cards have to say. And if any of you are still going through the stress of a hard Pluto transit, I do have a video for you on that, and I'm going to link to a playlist for all my Capricorn, Pluto and Capricorn videos below if you want to go back to any of those. Okay, Cancer. Cancer. Your card is, oh, I love this card. Cat, her pillar, opportunity. She's a cross between a cat and a caterpillar. So she's a cat, her pillar. And I love the pink. I love the softness. So the first message that comes through is you may still feel like you are in the chrysalis, like you have not yet become the butterfly. And that is okay. It's a number 4. It's a foundational number. 4 is also the 4th house of home and family. That is your house, Cancer. That is your area of the whole zodiac. It's an opportunity, though. You see a new opportunity is coming to you. When I look at her energy, I see her in her goddess self. She's in her goddess energy. She is taking supreme care of herself. She is loving herself, all the pink. She is visioning the life that she truly wants. She is visioning the new opportunities that she wants to bring to herself. And she is not going to settle for anything less. Cancer, you have learned through Pluto and Capricorn what you won't settle for. You have learned to really recognize the red flags. You have learned to see where you need to set clear boundaries. And now you are enveloped in your own energy, staying true to you, deciding what new opportunity you are ready to embrace, attract, and say yes to. Let me know if this resonates. Leave me a comment. I would love to hear. Gemini. Gemini, hello, beautiful Gemini. Gemini, I have my natal sun in Gemini. And those of you who are Gemini risings, you have been experiencing Pluto and Capricorn in your 8th house. This has been a very important transformational time for you. Pluto in the 8th house transforms us from the inside out. The 8th house has to do with partnerships, with people that we share, time, money, and resources, wealth, power and control. This is the Pluto house. This is also anything about which we have a emotional charge. So things like taxes, things like death, anything taboo, forbidden affairs, for example. It's also the house of inheritances. Some of you, while Pluto was transiting your 8th house, could have received an inheritance. Somebody close to you could have passed on. You could have had to separate assets if you split up with a partner or a business partner. Life could have felt quite serious for you because you were transforming through any of these kinds of things. Beautiful Gemini. Now, Pluto in Aquarius is like a breath of fresh air for you. Why do I say this? Because you are now getting a trine to your energy from Pluto. You are an air sign. Pluto is in Aquarius. Aquarius is an air sign. And now this trine energy, which is the wind at your back, it's like things sometimes feeling like they come out of nowhere. They just land in your lap, opportunities and blessings and wonderful things. This is happening in your 9th house of expansion, Gemini. So some of you are expanding through learning about spirituality, new modalities for healing. Some of you will publish something. Some of you will travel to other countries, or you will even move to another country, perhaps. If you want to apply for a visa or you have paperwork that's required to be able to travel or go someplace abroad, that will probably happen quite easily for you. Trines are usually ease and grace and flow. You could have a spiritual awakening here, one that comes quite easily, as opposed to coming, having happening through a discombobulating or a disruptive situation. You could feel like you're really breaking free from something. Some of you might break free from a religion. You could just feel like time and life is on your side, beautiful Gemini. But it doesn't mean that it won't be transformational for you still. Often with a trine from Pluto, we transform through passion. You could experience meeting a guru or a spiritual teacher. You could experience epiphanies and awakenings and aha moments that transport you, that take you to a higher level of consciousness through some sort of awakening experience, some sort of spiritual experience. So this is really, really beautiful for you, Geminis. Really beautiful. Mars currently is transiting your third house, making an opposition to Pluto. And this means that you could feel very revved up, amplified, with strong desire, strong inspiration to change something in your local area, to move to a different area, to move your office. You could be just doing a lot of errands and figuring out, like, where do you want to work out? Where do you want to do yoga, or however you take care of your body? You could be working through something with a sibling, with a neighbor, with a landlord, with a tenant. You could be working on a website, writing something. You could just feel like life is very busy. There's a lot that you're focusing on, a lot that you're trying to get done in your local area. Some of you will buy new devices. That could be Mars transiting your third house too. New phone, new computer, figuring out technology. If you have a business that requires a certain technology, you could be shopping for that during this time too. Just keep in mind that we do have Mercury retrograde. I always encourage holding off on the device purchases if possible during Mercury retrograde. But if something breaks, of course, you'll have to replace it. And that Mercury retrograde is going to be from November 25th to December 15th. Okay, Gems, let me pull a card for you and see what the cards have to say. But, big picture with the Mars opposing Pluto, Mars transiting your third house and Pluto transiting your ninth house, you could be really ruminating, contemplating, reflecting on where you want to live. What's your location? And in terms of what will expand you. The fourth house is our home, but the third house is, what's my ideal location? And the ninth house is, do I want to live in another country? How can I expand my horizons? What's the next adventure? There's a call to adventure with Pluto transiting your ninth. There's a call to learn more. There's a call to expand. And Mars is maybe having you cut ties to something in your local area so that you can go off and feel free to expand your horizons. Okay, so Gems. Gemini, let's see what the cards have to say for you. Gemini, your card is the unmarked trail. It's time for an adventure. And not only that, you're going to get a revelation. You are going to be getting a revelation that's going to help you, I think, get clear as to where you want to be location-wise, if you're thinking about that. And some of you, that could just be like, where in a certain area do I want to have an office? Where in a certain area do I want to go do this, that, or the other thing? So not everyone is thinking about moving abroad. I get that, or traveling abroad. But if you look at this card, it's the heart chakra. It's a lot of green healing energy. Some of you could be going through a heart healing or get a heart healing as a result of this transit. With Pluto trining your energy, Gemini, depending on what it is making a trine to, which planets or points, is it your ascendant? Is it your sun? Is it, some of you have multiple planets in Gemini. That's going to determine what that trine energy is about for you. And that's something, of course, I can help you with in a private reading. But with a trine, most Geminis are very focused on relationship. They want a best friend if they don't have one. They want a simpatico companion. They want a lover. They want a marriage partner. So for you, even though the ninth house isn't those areas, you could be wanting to expand your horizons with the intention of bringing new connections into your life as well. And I think you're going to be getting a revelation about this. And this is a beautiful time to bring new connections into your life, to have that happen. Passionate, soul-driven, soul-connected partners, friendships, alliances, or new people that you meet when you're on the road, when you're traveling, and those people in some way transform you and or your life. Beautiful Gemini, if this resonates, let me know if you want to claim your adventure on the unmarked trail. You are the pioneer during this transit. You are going into the perfect new adventure that was meant for you, beautiful Gemini. If you want to claim this, let us know in the comments below. You will inspire all of us. Taurus, hello, beautiful Taurus. Taurus, you have had Pluto in Capricorn transiting your 9th house of new horizons and adventures, spiritual awakening, higher learning. This is the house of publishing. It's the house of us getting out into the world in some way, getting new scenery, learning new things, expanding in some way, spiritual beliefs as well. Leaving behind anything oppressive in terms of a philosophy, tradition, or a belief system. That's what you've been through already. Pluto has been trining your energy. That's really helped you to awaken spiritually. That's helped you to expand in a way that probably felt quite empowering for you, Taurus. Let me know in the comments below if you resonate with that. Now Pluto is moving into Aquarius, and it will be transiting your 10th house of career. Now, this is going to be a square to your energy, and squares do feel more tense. They are often where we feel pressure. We're motivated. We feel very strongly about what's ours and what's meant for us. We are willing to fight for the things that really matter to us when we're getting a square. So that's a positive thing. The positive thing is that you know what's important to you, and you're not going to be afraid to go after it, Taurus. If someone challenges you, you will be clear with them on your boundaries. You will walk away if they don't honor your boundaries. You will cut ties to anything that's toxic in your career life. Some of you will leave a career. Some of you will retire. Some of you will change how you spend your time if you don't have to work. Others of you will get a new job. You will search for a new job. You will release anything toxic in your life, whether it has to do with an ambition or a coworker, a supervisor, a colleague. Often what happens when we have Pluto in Aquarius transiting our 10th house of career, we become more focused on what is good for humanity, and am I doing the thing that feels like it's in alignment with my purpose? So you could be exploring your purpose. You could have had a big ambition before this transit, and then during this transit, your ambition could change. Sometimes we get rewired by Pluto. We go through a transformation and we get more clear on what our own inner self, our core self really wants. And sometimes that's different from what we've been doing. So that could happen for you as well. Mars, as this transit begins in November 2024, Mars will be transiting your 4th house of home, family, childhood, conditioning, roots, and belonging. Some of you could move. Some of you could feel a conflict between your home and family and your work. You could feel like you're really working through some sort of work-life balance thing. With Mars and Pluto in your 4th and 10th houses, you could be dealing with a family member who isn't supporting you, or somebody that's in or around your family life or your home you could be dealing with. It could just be a noisy neighbor. That could happen too, I have to say. But the point of Mars transiting your 4th house is to get very clear on what's important to you. And some of you could do healing on a childhood wound. You could work with your inner child. You could become closer to your inner child and really step up your self-love so that you come through this transit feeling more safe and secure within yourself, beautiful Taurus. Overall, you are most likely going to be transforming either your career, your vocation, your passion, a sense of how you express your purpose in life, or your home or your family life. And some of you could take distance from a family member during this transit. You could cut ties to someone if there is any sort of boundary that is broken with a family member. That could happen as well. Or you could heal a relationship with a family member and really deepen your trust. And your actual home could change in some way. You could end up moving, you could buy a new home, you could build a home, you could transform your current home into more of a sanctuary. Okay, so Taurus, let's see what the cards have to say. Taurus, your card is The lost compass getting back to integrity. Well, Pluto transits are all about integrity. They're all about finding who we are. This is your inner compass in the center. If you have felt lost, and I wouldn't be surprised with Pluto transiting your 10th house, there's usually some sort of inner awakening or reckoning that happens during a Pluto transit. And for you, it has to do with your passion, your vocation, your career, or however you spend your time if you don't have a career. This is saying this transit is going to bring you into alignment with your true compass, your true self, your core self, what you most desire in terms of how you want to spend your one wild and precious life, as Mary Oliver puts it in her gorgeous poetry. A part of you has felt out of integrity in your career or in your home life, many of you. This could just be about cutting out any toxic relationships that have to do with home or your work life. Or it could be you're releasing a habit of overwork. You're releasing a habit of focusing too much, perhaps, on either home and family or career. Something is being brought back into balance for you during this transit. You are coming into alignment with your integrity. That's Pluto. It's our integrity. You are going to rebalance that. And this is going to bring you into a sense that the wheel of fortune is turning for you, that you are coming more into your own sense of inner and outer fortune, beautiful Taurus. And the card number is 8, and 8 is the number of success. 8 is the number of material success. So if you want to claim coming back into integrity, if you want to claim finding your inner compass, let me know in the comments below, beautiful Taurus. I would love to hear. Aries, Aries, hello, beautiful Aries. Pluto has taken you through the ringer too, most likely. Pluto has been squaring your energy. While it was in Capricorn, Pluto was transiting your 10th house of career. Have you had an intense transformational time with Pluto moving through your 10th house, beautiful Aries? Have you changed careers? Have you started or ended a job or a business? Have you moved through some sort of toxic work situation or overcome a workaholic pattern or some other pattern at work that was not good for you? Some of you could have met somebody at work and that could have transformed you, that relationship. Something powerful and intense and or passionately intense created a shift for you. It brought a new essence of you, a new self within you, more alive. And it perhaps course corrected you in your life, in your career life, in your home and family life. And that could have even extended out to a partnership or to your own sense of identity, beautiful Aries. Now Pluto moving through Aquarius is going to be in your 11th house. And this is the house of hopes, wishes, and dreams, long-term financial gains. This is the house of what your heart wants most, what your heart wants most. And now, Aries, you're going to have a sextile. You're going to get a sextile. What is that? It's harmonious energy. Pluto is harmoniously working with your Aries energy. Pluto's in Aquarius is air, your fire. This is new opportunities. It's solutions. It's workarounds. It's things falling into place. It's blessings. And the areas in which you may feel this could be if you put your work out into the world through social media, for example, or your friendships the relationships that you have with allies, with a tribe, feeling supported. That can really feel great during this transit. You could meet new friends that transform your life. You could finally find your tribe. You could finally connect with a cause, a humanitarian cause, something really important to you, whatever that is, or community, and that really lifts your energy, Aries. Now, Aries, I know, are people who you have a vision for your way. You have a vision for doing it your way, Aries. I get that. Like you, I don't want to say you're a lone ranger, but a lot of Aries, they're in leadership. They're at the helm. They want to do it their way. They have a vision. Plus, you move quickly and you don't want to wait for anybody else. That's part of it too. I have Mars and Aries. I know about this. And so for you, at times, it could be challenging to partner with other people. But at the very least, I think you're going to find that you're letting more people in. You're letting yourself be supported more. You're receiving more. And as a result, you're getting more back, Aries. You're getting more people on your side, more people supporting whatever you're doing. And someone who supports you could really transform your life. A new friend could transform your life, and it will feel like an easier transformation. It will still be intense. It will still be passionate because that's Pluto, but it will feel very synergistic, the relationship between the two of you. It will feel very bountiful, and it will be something that you look back on and feel quite grateful for, I believe. Mars is currently in Leo, currently transiting your 5th house. This makes a trine to your energy, so this is a little bit easier, this Mars transit for you as it opposes Pluto. And the 5th house, of course, is directly across from the 11th house, so you could also feel very strongly desiring creative expression, true love and romance, or time with your children, upgrading any of these in your life. If you have somebody that you're dating, if you have someone that's important to you that you spend time with that brings you passion, Mars here can really ramp up that energy and make it feel that much more passionate and lovely. So beautiful Aries, let me shuffle for you and let us see what the cards have to say for your Pluto in Aquarius transit. And I bet you're one of the ones celebrating that Pluto in Capricorn is over and done with. Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear. Okay, Aries. Aries, Pluto in Aquarius, fresh air blowing in, fresh air blowing in. Your card is the divine feminine, the cosmic womb. Some of you have really tapped into the divine feminine. Some of you are in the process of tapping into the divine feminine. The cosmic womb is where we incubate our ideas. We incubate a new project. We incubate our creativity. I believe that many of you are doing that right now. If something isn't moving quickly enough for you, Aries, after all, Mars will retrograde and you are ruled by Mars. So when it does so, and it's slowing down a lot right now as I'm doing this video, I'm doing this video on the Taurus full moon, which is conjunct Uranus. So the energy is quite heightened. But as I'm doing this video and during this time, Mars is slowing down and it will retrograde. And as an Aries, you might really feel that. And what this card is saying is it's all in divine order. It's all in divine timing. Let whatever is important to you incubate. Call in the divine feminine. You are currently embracing or upgrading your own divine feminine connection, wisdom, grace, flow, and the ecstasy of that. That can be ecstasy for you, beautiful Aries. If you resonate with this card or your reading, let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear. Pisces, hello, beautiful Pisces. Pisces, Pluto has been in Capricorn transiting your 11th house, and you've gotten a sextile from this energy. So this could have been quite empowering to you, meaning that any new friendships, any tribe, any causes, new community, or transformation of these while Pluto was transiting here could have brought you new opportunities. It could have brought you some sort of increase in your life, something expanding. Also, if you were involved in a social media platform, if you have used social media for connecting with people even, this could have been a source of transformation. Sextiles with Pluto are still intense. They still cause us to stretch and grow. They are still a process of using our power. So it doesn't mean that they are a light breeze by any means, but you could have felt a transformation in this area of your life, the 11th house. Also in a hope, wish, or dream, bringing something into fulfillment for you, or a long-term financial gain. You could have had an increase or money come into your life or return on your investment, that kind of thing. Now Pisces, now Pluto in Aquarius will be transiting your 12th house. Now your 12th house is a place that you are at home. Pisces energy is at home here. You rule the 12th house. So this is the divine realms. This is oneness. This is compassion. It's your inner world. It's rest and retreat. It's where you go to be in your own energy. It's where you can find deep solace in nature, where you can really be inspired to express your creativity, to write poetry, to channel divine wisdom for yourself and or for others. You could also hear with Pluto in the 12th house, I'll be honest, like it probably will bring up some fear for you. It will bring up anything that's been repressed or pushed down from, often from past lifetimes, often from childhood, which I believe is a recurrence of past lifetimes, often in a different form. So you could have a deep subconscious reprogramming here. But usually when Pluto transits our 12th house, we come out feeling like the phoenix. We come out feeling like, wow, I've really reprogrammed something. I've really changed my inner narrative. I have become more and more aware of my fears, of my thinking. I've transformed them. I've risen, and I am now a new version of myself. I now feel more comfortable in my own skin. I now feel more attuned to my deep purpose, my passion. So that's really beautiful, Pisces. Mars currently is opposing your 6th house of health, daily habits, work routines. It's the house of optimal health. It's the house where we're looking at our diet, we're looking at our exercise. And often this is where we have a strong desire. We have a strong desire to change a habit, to change our physical body's health, to possibly get a job, get a new job, change jobs, change our work life in some way, get more flexibility, get more freedom, shift some sort of pattern or routine in our daily life. Mars will be here until the end of April because it's going to go retrograde December 6th in Leo. It's going to retrograde back through your 5th house where your Cancer energy is. And then it will move back into the 6th house and make its final opposition to Pluto late April of 2026. So you are likely deliberating on either your work life or your health, your exercise routines, your habits, your what you eat, your nutrition. You're likely deliberating on this for several months while Mars is retrograde. And you could find or feel that somebody in your work life in some way, or your daily, routines, somebody is somehow pushing against you, and that causes a transformation in and of itself. That's possible. It will depend on whether any of the planets or points in your natal astrology chart are being activated right now by Pluto. And this, of course, I can assess for you in an astrology reading, or if you're able to look at your own chart and analyze it yourself, you can find that out as well. Beautiful Pisces. But regardless, the themes that I mentioned are definitely active for you. So let me shuffle for you and let us see what the cards have to say for you, beautiful Pisces. And I know that Saturn has been in your sign, and Saturn going through Pisces is not easy energy. So, you're definitely working some things out, some things through, getting a sense of a solid, sustainable foundation in your 1st house of identity. That's going on for you at the same time as well, setting boundaries, beautiful Pisces, boundaries with Saturn in your sign. Okay, so let's see what the cards have to say for you. Pisces. Your card is Many Masks the Authentic Self. This card is saying, while Pluto is transiting, you are going to shed a mask. You are going to become more and more authentic. There is a part of you, we call it an ego death. There's a part of you that you no longer need, beautiful Pisces, the part of you that had certain habits or patterns or coping mechanisms that are just not needed anymore because of your evolution. You've evolved past it. You've grown past it. And so this mask is dropping off of you. You're letting it go. You are becoming more and more comfortable in your own skin. You are becoming more and more comfortable letting your freak flag fly, saying what you have to say, expressing your truth, singing your songs, regardless of what other people think, and so on. You get the idea. You are awakening and embracing your most authentic self, beautiful Pisces. So if this resonates for you, leave me a comment. I would love to hear. Let us know in the comments below. My beautiful friend, thank you so much for joining me for this video. I am so grateful for your presence. This is going to be a new stretch of the Pluto and Aquarius journey, no question. If you haven't watched part 1 of this video, Go back and watch that so you know what I mean, because the transits that Pluto is going to make and how it's going to interact with the other planets between now and 2026 will be quite impactful for all of us. Thank you for liking this video, for giving it a thumbs up. Thank you for leaving me your comments. Thank you for your subscribes, for subscribing to the channel. When you subscribe, it's an easy way to give back, and it makes a huge difference to the algorithm, which then puts this video out to more people who love astrology, and you really help support the work. If you would like to know more specifically how Pluto in Aquarius is going to impact your life, will it be transiting any of your planets and points, and when will that happen? Because Pluto moves quite slowly, and the timing will depend on the degrees of the planets and points in your chart that Pluto will activate. This and more I can share with you in an astrology consultation. Go to my website, check out my offerings. We can do a heart's desire reading, a life purpose reading, a natal chart reading, and more. Read the testimonials that other clients who've worked with me have shared, and you should get a sense of whether you feel called to work with me. I also offer clarity sessions. It is my joy to be a compassionate presence and guide for you as you work through anything that you would like support on. As promised, I have a free gift for you, and that free gift is a soothing guided meditation connecting you to your inner guidance, to your unconditionally loving spiritual guidance. Go to my website, subscribe to my weekly inspirational updates for free, and you will get that free instant download immediately. Thank you to my Sunday chat friends for joining us. You can join us every Sunday, 9 a.m. Pacific time, gathering together in the chat with like-minded friends. You are warmly invited. I hope to see you there. So, my beautiful friend, I am very much looking forward to Pluto moving into visionary, future-focused Aquarius. Let me know how you feel about this transit. I would love to hear from you. And until my next video, I am sending you all my love.